Hello, thanks for joining us at Build today. I'm Manpratap Suri, Principal Product Manager with Microsoft Teams.
And I'm Mansi Sharma, Senior Engineering Manager with Microsoft Teams. And we're going to share some exciting enhancements to the Microsoft Teams platform and learn how to create interactive and powerful Teams applications in minutes.
That's right, Mansi. With the shift to hybrid work, we are seeing more users than ever join Teams meetings. We realize it is even more important to make it easy for you, the developer, to build collaborative experiences for your end users and enable them to work together in more productive ways. Last year, we introduced new features in the Meetings platform. These enabled you to plug even more deeply into the meetings lifecycle of a scheduled meeting. We also showed some powerful updates to tabs and adaptive cards that let you build engaging apps for your customers. We've now extended these capabilities to include one-on-one and group calls, which are just as popular, if not more, as scheduled meetings. Your existing Teams meeting applications will now also work across one-on-one and group calls, and you have to make no changes to your applications or to the app manifest. With hybrid work here to stay, we are on an exciting journey to see how new tools and technologies are supporting this new model of working. Like us, many are planning to balance working from the office and/or remotely throughout the week. This gives everyone a chance to participate and collaborate while avoiding flexibility in planning their work and personal life. Hybrid meetings in Microsoft Teams will play a big role in creating this space for collaboration, and apps will light up the experiences that build team connections and productivity in this new world. Earlier at Build, we talked about how users collaborate in Teams today via screen sharing sessions. But sometimes we want to do more than share a static image of your work. You want to be able to work together directly, regardless of a physical location, and our teams can help with it. Today, we're going to show you how to create applications that allow you to share a Teams meeting app content onto the meeting stage for everyone to see, and also interact with in real time. Imagine all the collaboration scenarios this opens for you, such as doctors sharing patient system of record with their patients during telehealth visit and virtual examinations, B2C scenarios like following up on sales leads, reviewing and e-signing contracts, and many more. But it is not all about synchronous collaboration. We will also create applications that enable asynchronous collaboration scenarios, such as task assignment, which requires picking people from chat or the org directory and associating actions or items with them. All of this right from within the adaptive card, boosting conversation productivity. Let me hand it over to Mansi, who will show you how to create these applications and explain how this works.
Thanks, Manpratap. Hybrid work is upon all of us. Keeping that in mind, I created this simple app for office admins and space planners. As they begin to assess how many employees will come back to work, let me show you the app. I'll begin by sideloading this app to an already scheduled meeting. By the way, this same application will work for one-on-one and group call scenarios without additional work on app developers. Now that I've configured the tab, as an office admin, at the recent team meeting, Adele was able to share the Hybrid Hub app with the team. This was made possible using the Share to Stage APIs via Team Client SDK that we launched late last year. However, since then, we've made significant improvements to them. What if, rather than sharing the entire app with everyone, I only want to share the hybrid preferences section with everyone? With programmatic share-to-stage APIs, I can share specific segments of the app to meeting stage.
That is wonderful. Now, this app is already building on participant roles, meeting side panel, and all the other meetings of app goodness?
That is correct. Let me show you the code behind this app. To enable an app for Teams meeting, you need to update your app manifest and use the context properties to determine where your app must appear. The Meetings app capabilities are declared in your app manifest using the configurable tabs, scopes, context arrays, and permissions. The scope defines who can access, and the context defines where your app is available. The context array determines what must be shown when a user invokes an app in a meeting, depending on where the user invokes the app. For example, if your context array supports meeting side panel, then the app will be rendered as an in-meeting tab, which is 320 pixel in width. Meeting APIs are guarded by RSC permissions so that the user consent is restricted to a given meeting instance. To use the guarded Teams meeting APIs, you must obtain the corresponding RSC permissions. In the app manifest, configure the authorization property and the name and the type in the resource-specific field. For example, there's a delegated resource-specific permission called meetingstage.write.chat, which you must declare in the manifest in order to interact with Share App Content to Stage API. Speaking of Share to Stage APIs, remember how I shared the entire app to the meeting stage? That was made possible by using the context property meeting stage as well as the RSC permission. Now, let me show you how I was able to share specific components to the meeting stage. We've made some powerful enhancements in this space. In order to share specific segments of the application to the stage, you need to call Share App Content to Stage Client SDK API in the meeting namespace. This API requires two query parameters, the app content URL that will be shared on the stage and should be part of the app's valid domain array in the manifest, and the other parameter is a callback. Now that you're sharing the app content to stage, you can check the state of the sharing at any point using getAppContent Stage Sharing State API. In addition to this, we've also provided a pre-check API called getAppContent Stage Sharing Capabilities. This API returns if the app has the permissions to be shared on the stage based on user role, attendee or presenter, and user type, anonymous, guest, or federated. But these aren't the only APIs you can leverage for your app. We have Get Meeting Details API that provides you with critical meeting details information, such as meeting start and end time, along with organizer and conversation details. We also provide attendee, organizer, and presenter role information via Get Participant Role Bot API. This API also indicates if the user is present in the meeting or not. But keep in mind that the user roles can change during the meeting lifecycle, so please factor that in your design choices. Not only that, apps can now subscribe to changes in participant speaking versus not speaking events via the Teams Client SDK by subscribing to Register Speaking State Change Handler and respond with an experience such as volume control. A new app manifest permission was introduced for users to consent to their audio being detected. Here is a list of meeting extensibility APIs which combined together can help unlock rich and collaborative meeting app scenarios for your end users. Another powerful one to emphasize here is the Real-Time Meeting Events API. You can receive these real-time meeting events through OnActivity Async Handler via Bot Framework. Your app must have relevant RSC permissions to receive these events as well.
That seems super helpful, Mansi. I can imagine some pretty powerful scenarios with these APIs, such as running your daily Scrum stand-ups, brainstorming sessions with whiteboarding, with everyone collaborating together. So, this is a great example of synchronous collaboration in a call or a scheduled meeting, Mansi. But collaboration often happens asynchronously in a chat or channel. What have you to offer there?
That's right. Let me show you a productivity experience working in an asynchronous scenario. As it often happens, not everyone participates or is present in a meeting. Coming back to the Hybrid Preferences app, the office admin noticed that some team members were not present in the meeting. In order to complete the back-to-work planning, she can now assign async tasks for specific team members. She's able to search and select the right task for a specified user. The sender and the receiver get their own customized view of the assigned task. This has been enabled by leveraging user-specific views for adaptive cards, type-ahead search, and People Picker, which we've recently released. This is really powerful as the admin was able to perform all of this from chat, and that too from within the adaptive card itself. Let me show you how I built this. There are three parts to achieving this experience. First is the type-ahead search in adaptive card. Type-ahead search functionality in adaptive cards gives an enhanced search experience on input choice set component. It provides a list of choices to enter text in the search field. You can incorporate type-ahead search with adaptive cards to search as well as select data. Keep in mind, the entered text becomes part of the JSON payload, which can get bulky if you have a lot of entries. You can also make this dynamic to search and select data from large data sets by specifying data query in the JSON payload. Second is the People Picker view in adaptive cards. People Picker helps users to search and select users in adaptive cards. You can add People Picker as input control, which works across chats, channels, task modules, and tabs. This can light up scenarios like approval-based applications, incident management, project management, and user lookup. And the last is the user-specific view of the universal adaptive card. Earlier, if adaptive cards were sent in a Teams conversation, all users will see the same exact card content. With the introduction of Universal Actions model and the refresh for adaptive cards, bot developers can now provide user-specific views of cards to users. The same card can now refresh to a user-specific adaptive card. A maximum of 60 different users can see a different version of the card with additional information or actions. The adaptive card provides powerful scenarios like approvals, poll creator controls, ticketing, incident management, and project management cards.
Thank you so much, Mansi. I learned a lot today about building collaborative apps in Teams. To recap, we showed how your meeting apps now extend beyond scheduled meetings into one-on-one and group calls, reaching users where they are in a collaboration. We showed you new ways to collaborate in meetings synchronously via our share-to-stage APIs, making any hybrid scenario collaborative. And lastly, you can take advantage of enhancements to adaptive cards to enable asynchronous collaboration in chat and channels. Well, this brings us to the end of this session. I hope you gained some knowledge about building collaborative apps for Teams. Hope you enjoy the rest of Build. Thank you.